Welcome, welcome everyone. And we warmly welcome our beloved Chaps Latoya. Thank you so much for hosting this beautiful events. Unleash our inner goddess power at our amazing time of the year. The Lion's Gate is opening and the new moon Leo today. Yeah, so I was actually listening and about astrology of the day, like what we're experiencing now with Series A aligned with Orion's belt. Like Series A is like the Isis, the goddess Isis is a divine mother, aligned with Orion's belt, which is the divine father. When these two energy come together, create this divine union, and which is like in the ancient time, the ancient Egyptian can feel every year at this time, this energy arise, and then it gave birth to the spirit of the Nile River, which is overflow of abundance, and this nourishing, irrigating water and big water body, and just come flush in on the land and just give birth to all the lives in the green field, agriculture, and people joyfully celebrate how this divine union come and blessing the land and the earth. And that's actually how they set up, build the Giza pyramid, and based on the alignment of that constellation and the star, and how much we feel in unionship with the cosmic energy all together. Thank you.
Woo, woo, woo. I think it's amazing that we are in this time. And I think that so much is aligning right now under this full moon of Leo. So I think it's amazing. Thank you so much for bringing that awareness of the magic of today.
Yes. I want to also welcome Lillian and Claudia. Thank you for joining us today. And especially deep gratitude to Chaps. And I think most people, they don't know that we know each other through the military. And you were the my first chaplain of my first shift that I served. And it was such a deep gratitude and blessing that how much you come to my life and have helped me and lifted me and through my most difficult time of my life. And I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, just before we went live, I was talking with Du and I was like, man, what a beautiful experience, right? How we just never know sometimes, and our lives intertwine, right? Like this beautiful woven, tapestry. And I didn't know back then that I would be on a live stream with Daisy talking about the full moon under Leo. And when I met her, she was Seaman Du in blue coveralls with her name tag, and greasy and making the ship run. And we were in coveralls and we were like deploying on sea and we were like rough sailors. And how crazy is that now we're on a live stream talking about the full moon of Leo, just in this very spiritual moment, right? It's just so very beautiful. And I think it speaks to allowing life, allowing universe, allowing experiences, allowing your story to unfold. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very, very honored to have met you in that space and to know you now and to be in this space with Lillian and Claudia. I'm very honored.
Yeah, it's really divinely orchestrated. And I think a lot of time, even though our density mind, our 3D body, not fully understanding the picture, but there is a bigger picture and cosmic structure just perfectly putting us together.
Mm.
And so we can do the bigger orchestration in the symphony and dance and sing together, allow our soul just merging and weaving dreams together.
Dreams, dreams. Yes, yes. Beautiful.
So I very intrigued by all your works that you've been doing, like empowering, like a feminine. I'm actually, let me rewind. So what inspired you to start the work, like transition from chaplain work and involved with military and later on to fully dedicated to like feminine empowerment works?
Oh my goodness, what a question. um, I usually start my introduction that I am who I call a victim turned survivor turned thriver of domestic violence and sexual assault and abuses. And I always wanted to be a part of the solution. And I entered the military because I wanted to be in an environment where I knew that I could affect change in those things, that I could affect change and help those who are being abused, or those who are fallen into depression because of abuse and suppression. And the military just seemed like a good place to do that because there's such a concentration of it. And an emphasis on healing from it based on the mission. So I was doing that, but I say that to say that it was always my goal, my mission, my vision to help women particularly heal. And but what happened was in the military, of course, there's such a small number of women. Of course, I was helping with different spouses and I loved helping both men and women. I loved helping people through their trauma, whatever it was, but I just felt more and more and more pulled to really come out of the military and really just focus on what I really feel called to do, which is help women out of self-sabotaging, help them out of self-judging, self-criticism, being stuck, right? Not loving themselves, believing themselves, and trusting in themselves, right? The more that I stayed in the military and the more that I saw women in this, is the more impassioned I became about it. And I was feeling limited in the military, that I could only help them so far, because really the goal was to patch them up enough to get them back in the fight. And that became not enough for me, right? It became not enough for me. I wanted more transformation, more healing, more time with women and people. And so I had to come out. I had to come out and be free to say what I need to say, how I need to say it, and really spend the time and the energy to work with women the way I feel they deserve to be worked with. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your works in helping women and like showing them how to be more centered, almost like I feel like regaining their own inner power, inner strength, and inner voice.
It absolutely is. And just as you and I were discussing before, it's like, it's coming back to themselves, right? Coming back to themselves, reconnecting to who they really are, as you put it, remembering who they really are. As one of the things I always say to women is, you don't need to get clear. I don't believe that. You don't need to get clarity. I don't believe that. I believe you are clear. You came here clear. You are very clear in your core self, in your higher self, in your real self. You are very clear, right? Because you have powerful intuition, whatever it is that we call it, whether it's spiritual discernment or intuition or higher self or heebie-jeebies or gut feeling or whatever it is that you want to call it, you have it. So now the work is unblocking it and reconnecting to it. So really, like you said it exactly correct. It's becoming the fullness of ourselves again.
Yeah, I do feel this. Like a lot of time, like when I talk with people and they ask me certain things about like clarity, how to connect with guide, angel, or higher self, and I would tell them the very second you want to ask the question, you already know it.
Yes.
Your higher self guiding you to ask the question. The guru within you is the one that's speaking right before you speak it out. That's yourself.
Absolutely. It's so true. And I know Lillian, I know she just came from a coaching call, so I know she can totally relate to this, right? Because that's what coaches do. Like, the answer. And I always tell my clients when they say, I don't know, I say, yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's not that you don't know. It's that you're fighting it, or you have yet to believe it, or you are suppressing it because of an external expectation or judgment that you are fearful of. But you do know. And I think I tell them, the fact that you have resistance is evidence in of itself that you do know. Because if you really didn't know and you wouldn't have any resistance. You would be on the couch. You would be continuing on with whatever it is that you're doing. You would be in a state of contentness. You would be in a state of what's the word I'm looking for? So you would be in what's the word I'm looking for? Compromise. You would be in a state of compromise and you would be there, right? But the fact that you are having this rub, you're having this conflict, you're having this resistance, it's because your soul knows there's more and you want the more, and you know that you're deserving of the more, and you know that you are called to the more. There is this inner knowing that's causing this friction against whatever the resistance is.
It's ancient calling of the ancient soul that creates undercurrent if we listen it in and fully embody that essence.
Yes, and the work is fully embodying, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? It's fully embodying. Lillian, I want to hear from you. What do you have to comment? What are you thinking about these things?
It might be too early for Lillian. I know it's like 6 a.m. Thank you so much.
Sorry,
Oh, you're really quiet. We can't hear you.
The sound.
Oh, now it's good. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the question was, I just want to recap the question. You were talking about what is the fully embodiment. Am I right?
Right. The fact, what we've been talking about, right? Like the soul knows, and how sometimes we are resisting against that, and we feel like we don't know, but in fact we do know, right? And then part of the work is like Daisy was saying, embodying that.
Yeah. So most of the time that the experience of me that I could share is the soul know everything. And just a human mind that is blocked because you were questioned, right? Like, is that true? Is that okay? What's people gonna think about me? All of that. So you're creating a lot of blocks from there, and you can't fully embody with that. But if you, just like what you said, is the if you feel yourself internalize those like self-sabotage, limitations, and you're starting to see your soul, how beautiful is your soul is. And then you fully embody your soul, you flourish from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it takes for us to really do the work. And I find that most of my work with clients is separation, separating your true self from the thoughts, ideas, beliefs that were imposed upon us or given to us, that we took on as our own, but may not be our own. And some of them harmful, some of them toxic, some of them oppressive, and some of them were given with well-meaning. They were given with well-meaning, but they are not necessarily for our best. So I wonder if we could have like a real conversation, right? If we could share some of those things from our personal experience. Have you had some beliefs, thoughts, opinions about yourself or about life that were either toxic or not really aligned with our best and our better selves and who are becoming in our light selves? And I wonder if you could share that.
I
Anybody
definitely can relate to that. I can relate to that very easily. When you talk about separation, right? This is at 3 years ago. So this is my own experience, personal experience, that I was a corporate lady, corporate woman that believe that climbing ladder is the only thing that I do. Right? Every 2 years you climb. This is the time that you climb. And of course, there is like your expectations and also what's surrounding. You know, your colleague moved on and let's see what's out there. So the more I found that the more I climbed the ladder, the corporate ladder, the more separation that I become. And what does that really mean by separation? It's just like you separate from your own body. Like I don't feel anything. In a way that emotion, you just like one door shut, another open. Don't worry about that. Just go that one. But you don't have the process. You just skip. Basically, you're just jumping one door to another door. And you don't have that process of thinking of what's the emotion here? Are you supposed to be sad? Are you supposed to be really happy and celebrating? And I would just like just turn the book, just flick over and go. So this is one part of it. The second part of it is, as a woman body, I don't rest. I never rest. Normally, you jump from one career to another career. You probably rest for 2 weeks, right? Like a common practices, right? Mine just like next week, Friday, one job, Monday, new job. I don't rest. Because of the excitement of climbing ladders and meeting peoples. Yeah. So from there, the body crash. When the body crash, there is a message the body send out. It's a signal. It's the alarm. It's not a message anymore. It's the alarm.
It's the alarm.
So yeah. And then my menstrual cycle is upside down. I never chart. I never know when. It's come, it don't come. Oh, it's okay. Next month. Yeah. So that again is sort of like cycle upside down. And when my doctor asked me, when is your last time? I don't know.
Wow.
That's separation.
Wow. Because you're right, that is separation. Your body was just out of alignment, right? Just chaotic energy.
Exactly.
Daisy and I were talking about this just before we went live. It's amazing that exactly what Daisy said, like, this is how the universe aligns. We were just talking about that before we went live, right? Of how it can be so easy for us to leave our bodies, to separate from our own bodies. And what's important, it's so important for those who are listening live stream, or you're listening on the replay, or those who are here with us, Claudia and Teresa, that we're in a society that makes that okay, because we're in a society that is about commerce, that is about, succeed, 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 and achievement, 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 achievement. And the environment is such that it makes it okay to separate from our bodies. Daisy and I were talking about that when we were in the military, and it is prevalent, right? It's like expected in the military that you separate from your body. You literally do not feel the pain, or you ignore that you feel the pain. You pretend that you don't feel the pain, that your body is falling apart, so that you can do the work and fulfill the mission until you get out. Whatever that get out is, could be retirement, or the time that you get out. And then when you're getting out and you're doing your separation physical, like your body's falling apart. You're having 3 or 4 or 5 surgeries. You've got all these diagnoses. You've got, right? And it's like, it's incredible. It's 2 things. It's incredible, number one, how much our bodies will take. It's incredible. And then number 2, it's incredible what the mind says. When the mind overrides, right? The mind says, we will do this. And the body says, okay. And we do it, right? But what I always told people, when your mind starts to send the alarm, if we don't listen and if we don't heed it, it will take it. It will take it. And that is a dangerous place.
Take the driver's seat.
It will take the driver's seat. It will say, okay, you don't want to rest? I'm going to put you down, and then we're going to rest. And all kinds of things, chaos can happen. All kinds of things can happen. You can have a stroke. You can pass out. You can have a heart attack. And I don't mean this for fear, but I worked in the hospital before I came in the military, right? And stress, they call stress the silent killer, right? One of the silent killers, because you have no diagnosis for it. You have no idea what's going on in your body, but stress is wreaking havoc, physical havoc in your body. This silent, intangible, untouchable killer. And so it's really important. It's really important in the work that we do, and the work that I do, the work that Lillian does, the work that Daisy does, this work of reconnecting to our higher selves, reconnecting to our physical selves, reconnecting to our emotional selves, reconnecting to our spiritual selves, right? Doing that reconnection. I have a lot of women that are saying, like, how can I love myself again? Well, a part of that is starting to be in your body again, right? Be in your body again. Allow yourself to say, ouch, that hurts. And it sounds so simple, but that's probably where it starts for a lot of people, right? Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh, you go first. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm just processing. I'm processing. Daisy, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, there's one thing that Lillian pointed out, and it's really nailed the issue. Is like she mentioned about climbing up the ladder. A lot of time we're climbing the ladder because we're told that we have to win. We have to win the game, and then that's the wrong ladder. It doesn't align with our soul.
Isn't it, you love that? What Daisy describes so cool. The wrong ladder.
The wrong ladder. Yeah. And the higher we go on the wrong ladder for a lot of people, the harder it is to get off. Because we feel like, oh, we've already climbed so high. We've already invested so much. We've already, gotten this status of, whatever it is, position or money or respect, right? We've worked so hard for it. We've achieved. And so it's hard to come down. I remember when I was getting out, and I was like, no, I'm going to go do healing work. My mother said, oh, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss the respect. You're going to miss, the honor, right? You're going to miss the reputation that you worked so hard to build. And again, some of it is well-meaning, right? Based on what they believe and what they know and what they came up with, what they came up in. But it is not necessarily in alignment with the best that is actually the best for us, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I could relate to that is in a way that, so many patriarchal society that re-image women and men is equal, or even women had to be work extra hard to be equal
To be
than men.
right.
But obviously is until now, year 2022 is not
It's
yet,
not.
right?
No,
So
not yet.
I ask, are we working so hard? We're working so hard, right? How can we work harder? How can we work harder? Like, do I need to work harder to become balanced? What does that balance mean? The balance in your body, or the balance with the man, or balance with the, when I talk about the man, I'm talking about, the workforce together, because when you're in work, when you interview, right, the salary wise, it's just not the same. The woman is always like, oh, I don't know that skill yet. I can't do the job. But the man said that whether you got a skill or not, I'm just going to apply. That is the mindset. So again, it's just like, yeah. Oh man, I just go back to this is my younger age because I'm a little bit mature now. I can see it through. Like younger age, I was like, oh, I can't apply that job because I'm not that good. Like not enough. I'm not enough. And not enoughness.
It's so good. And what I over the past couple of months, I've been really honing in on the fact that I want us to know that that's not our fault. The fact that we fell into this mindset, right? It was given to us. We didn't come here with that, but it was given to us by, collective conscious thought that was created because they thought this will be better for society. This will be better for society if women think less of themselves and stay in their place. When I finished my bachelor's, and my bachelor's was in theology, and at the time I wanted to be a pastor, and so I called the front office of my particular denomination at that time, and I said, "Hey, I finished my bachelor's. I've done my practicum, and I'm ready to apply for a job." And he said to me very plainly, point blank, "My dear, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but it is the truth. Because you're a woman, you need a master's to get the same job that a man will get with a bachelor's." And that was the end of the conversation. And when I went and got
punch in the face,
right. And when I there's more. And when I went to get my master's of divinity with postgraduate education, and I went back to the same denomination and said, "Hey, remember me?" Now I have all this education and experience. And he said, "And who told you to go do that?" And I was like, "You did." And then they were like, he says, he spent an hour on the phone with me telling me, "You know what? The truth is, no matter how much you do, it's not ever going to be enough." And let me tell you all, ladies, I bawled, I cried my eyes out. And so when we wonder, where does this come from? This nagging voice in the back of our heads that you're not enough. You need more education. You need more experience. You need more you need more confidence. You need more good looks. You need more lipstick. You need more breasts. You need more. Can I just be real and honest here? Right? Like you need more hair. You need more eyelashes. You need more, right? Like, right? You need whiter teeth. You need like whatever, right? It's like, You need a better accent. You need a stronger accent. You need less of an accent. You need to be skinnier. You need a little more weight. You need you need bigger feet actually for this one. No, you need smaller feet for this one. Like, it's like there's this constant message of not enoughness. And maybe you're listening and your experience was not maybe as extreme as mine. Maybe you had a worse experience. Maybe you don't even remember the experience, right? But the messages are coming to you from commercials, from different places and different religions, from music, from politics, from TV shows, right? From, I mean, you name it, it's like bombarding you. And so if we are not intentionally conscious about filling ourselves, reconnecting ourselves with our truth, with the truth about who we are, the truth about who we came here to be, the truth about our enoughness, then it's inevitable almost that we will fall prey to some of this messaging, because we're being bombarded with it. It is coming from all places. And I tell women, please know that this is not your fault. Know that you didn't decide one day, I'm going to feel not enough, right? Know that you didn't, it's not because you're weak or because, you're not strong enough. You're not woman enough. You're not Black enough. You're not Asian enough. It's none of that stuff is why we feel this way. It's not because you weren't strong enough, right? Or you don't have enough, you didn't have enough handle on your emotions or your energy. No, it's because we are in this environment that bombards us on a daily basis, on top of whatever trauma that we may have experienced personally, right? And so having this awareness, hopefully, and now being able to say, I am aware of why this is happening, and I can take a step forward. Let me now take a step forward to heal from it. Let me now take a step forward to release myself from it. Let me now take a step forward to separate myself from it so that I can become my true self, so that I can become the goddess that is within me.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It does feel like it takes courage to take a party, not do.
Ooh.
Yeah, we are a human being. We are not human doing.
Can I share something about being paused? This is 2 years ago when I was walking. I knew that I need to take a pause so that I can step into the princess path. And somehow I hear the voice from my heart. They say, you're going to take a pause from November. I said, okay, well, December is Christmas, nobody doing anything because, areas in me that never stopped. And I was like, then how long I'm going to stop? Until April. It's no way. I said, no way. I'm not going to stop it until April. What am I going to do with that? But again, I listen. Because from November, the pause is to creating space within. So from creating space, you can connect to your higher self, to reconnect again.
Yes.
And you just like, wow, my higher self is beautiful. And then the more I connect, right, is more like divine. We feel that support is there. And it's always talking to you. It's just in your heart. And human self, again, is training part. Am I imagining?
Right.
Am I crazy? Right? But again, that soft voice is always very comforting. And by trusting that once, twice, 3 times, that is the inner goddess. That is there always. Waiting for you to be heard. So So for me, creating space, my experience with that for 4 months of not doing nothing for my business, it meant to be, because when after April, yes, I'm starting my business again. When I open up my book, hang on, it doesn't realign anymore. I have to start over again. It's like, now I know That's what my higher self trying to say. Don't work too hard because up to April, everything not the same. I said,
Wow.
okay, always supported. So yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
I would love to talk about for a moment why it's so difficult for us to create that space, right? For a lot of the reasons that we've already spoken about, but I just want to, give voice to what some women and even some men might be thinking, right?
Yeah.
Especially those of us who may have children, right? You go, you do your work, you come home, you have your second job. You take care of the family, you're doing the things, right? And it's like, oh, you can't stop. And I remember feeling like I couldn't create space. I couldn't create space for my business, and I couldn't create space for my family, because if I created space in any one spot, the other was going to just completely fall apart. And it was just going to be chaos. If I create space here, chaos is going to be over there, right? And
I know what you mean.
Right? And so, but that is not truth. It isn't truth. And that's why we always go back to what is truth, different from what is the truth that was given to us by a society that wants us to never stop and keep working, right? The more that we're in a society now that the point of technology is to squeeze more out of you, not make it easier, but to make you do more in less time. That's the point, right? So we have to, I tell women, you are the gatekeeper. You are the gatekeeper, not them, not your children, not your spouse, not your partner, not society, not the business, not money, not achievement, not success, not the goals. You are the gatekeeper. And when you truly embody that, when you truly step into that power, you become the center of gravity. You become the force that balances. You become the one that sets the boundaries and healthy boundaries, and models that for other people to set it as well. When we are going, and we're setting no boundaries and everything is everywhere, then we are in chaos. We're in organized chaos, but it's still chaos. And we're modeling that for our children, that they have to be that way too. And I know that that's not what we want, because that's not the fullness of being, as we were just talking about, right? That's the fullness of doing. Is that the fullness of being? And what is in the fullness of being? Happiness, joy, self-love that overflows and spills into loving other people. The clarity that's already in you, that's already deep inside of you, that you came here with, the conviction and the passions, right? That's what's in the space that we create. That's what's in the reconnection. That's what's in the silence. That's what's in the pausing. That's what's in the slowing down. That's what's in taking the time to do the self-work. That's what's in the separating ourselves from the story and the expectations that are given to us. Yeah.
It's like opening an abundance portal, embracing ourselves as that abundance portal, right? We are that manifestation magnet.
Yeah. I feel like we're coming into a place where we're really truly understanding that. I feel like before we thought manifesting was do more, right? Like make it happen. And now we're coming into an understanding that manifestation really begins with our energy and our thoughts. And like you said, our opening, our willingness, our receiving.
Yes, actually, this whole year is all about receiving. This year is number 6, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is like heart expansion, like dancing in the relationship with universe, in this romantic harmonious dance with the universe. And it's like saying yes to the universe, more and more, and avalanche of abundance will all pouring in. All that we need to do, just say yes and receive.
Woo! So all we have to do is say yes and open our hands and receive.
Yes.
Is there energy that we can have that would block that?
It's just it's all about the expansion of the heart. Like sometimes when we feel judgment, like when we sense, oh, someone this way and that way, I cannot fully open, that judgment itself is something we need to work on, so that it's no longer staying in our energy field. It's like when we point finger at others, it's not others. Others, they are messengers for us, and to show us which aspect of ourself that not able to fully open, allow love, and allow the flow of love pouring through.
Yes, and I know that there's, a lot of us, the statistics in the United States say at least 1 in 4 women are victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, abuse, and oppression. And so a lot of us find it hard to have that heart expansion. A lot of people have a hard time trusting again. And what's interesting is that there's the two-sided coin, right? I don't trust other people, when really it is, I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself to trust other people. I don't trust myself to open to other people. I don't trust myself to discern or intuit when this may not be a good situation, or I need to leave, or I shouldn't stay as long as I'm staying, or to have the strength to get up and go. And so really this trusting myself, trusting other people again needs healing. The hurt needs healing. The need for justice needs healing. And so there's go ahead.
Oh yeah, this is a concept that I shared with my friend yesterday, that in the ancient time, actually still in a lot of indigenous practice, it's not like nowadays we have the judicial system that we know there's some kind of need, some kind of ultimate judgment, but in ancient like matriarch society especially, there will be some elders that conduct some kind of like mediating different party, because there's wisdom behind why there's conflict. It's not just a single factor. There's some kind of dynamic within the whole tribe that we need to pay attention to. And we allow both parties an equal voice, so we can learn the wisdom like beneath that surface phenomenon. So it's not like to put anyone as the one to be blamed. Is everybody need to reflect and equally blame. We need to like reflect on that. Actually, in Buddhism practice, there's a practice is called a blame, bring all blame to the self. At that, and then from the inner heart, and then we observe and see which aspect of our heart we are blind spot, and that way we can be the holder, be the healing container for all humanity.
Yeah, so beautiful. And I think I absolutely agree, and I think it's true. And I think what happens is a lot of times we get stuck because we're hoping that the collective will do this, right? That the collective that we're in currently would do this, would recognize, hey, something needs to be fixed. Hey, something needs to shift. Something needs to change. Clearly our statistics are terrible and we need to come together. Well, it's not necessarily happening. And so The important thing now, though, is to start the healing from within, like just like you said, right? To start that healing of your own heart.
Yeah.
To look for those blind spots, to look for those energy blocks, to look for those pains, those hurts, and to heal them.
Yeah.
And to heal them.
It's also like healing the heart and healing the womb. It's like almost like allow our energetic body to be that healing womb space to rebirth the self. Like,
yes. Ooh, that's so good.
like for me, like personally, I still have certain pouch of memories that I cannot remember because at a certain age I was not feeling safe in my own body. I don't even remember the trauma. And for me, doing the inner work is all about observing the trigger. Sometimes it can be a trigger word, and sometimes it could be a circumstance or a certain person, but they all the messenger to point out to me which part of myself in like get caught in like certain timeline, get caught in the time and space spectrum. Like for instance, like recently I was doing soul retrieval for myself, and I was given the name 32. I was like, I'm not 32. I was like, oh, that's myself, my soul fragment got caught. I need to go back to the memory to retrieve that part of myself back. And be the healing container, telling her you're safe. I'm here. You'll bring you back home again.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's so beautiful. And I think that doing that kind of healing is so much more holistic, right? It's holism. It's healing for the sake of being whole, right? Healing for the sake of feeling good, feeling safe, feeling again yourself, right? Feeling again joy, pleasure, happiness, peace, balance, all the things that we are worthy and deserving of, and not necessarily, which I think is what society is pushing, healing for the sake of getting into another relationship, or healing for the sake of getting this money, right? Or healing for the sake of, right, getting this position, right? And what if we turned back to healing for the sake of healing for the sake of, because you deserve to be whole, right? Because you deserve to be whole. And as you are becoming whole and things align in the universe for you, and things that are supposed to be will be.
Yes, that is that contentment. It's almost like this is actually perfect for the lion's gate, our contemplation of the lion's heart, that radiant inner golden mind, which is our own like sacred temple, our own body, our own soul, that fully embodied heart and soul, that place. You will be like this radiant lion spirit, come from inside out, and nothing bother you because you are that treasure mind. You don't need to go anywhere. You just sitting and be content.
Just being.
With that. Yeah.
You know, and if we take it from the spiritual realm and you just go and observe a lion, you feel the power. Do you not? The lion does not have to be roaring. It doesn't have to be running. It doesn't have to be hunting. It doesn't have to be doing anything but just sitting there and being its most powerful self. And you feel the power of that lion or lioness.
Yeah. Sometimes I tell people, just if you have a cat, you just observe your cat. They just step into the room. They own the whole house.
Yes, they do. They so do. They so do. It is so true. It is so true. And so that's what I think of when I'm saying to people, I'm I'm here for inner power, right? Like that is what I want for us as women to tap into again, our inner power. It's not that, power of dominance and, like the over exaggerated masculine energy that our world has been a part of for so long. It's not that. It's the inner power, the power that is within you, that power that says, I am confident. I know who I am. I know what I came here to do. I know what I came here to be. I know the legacy that I'm leaving here. I know my hurts and pains and traumas and trials, but I also know who I am becoming. I know what I am learning and growing and strengthening from that, right? That kind of knowing, that kind of power where you can, like you said, walk into the room and be the center of gravity because you are so centered and you are so balanced and you are so aligned with yourself. That is beautiful power. That is what I live for. That is what I live for.
Yeah, other time I do certain things and feel like imagine what would 3-year-old me doing. Like for instance, when I try to paint, and sometimes I feel like not very confident with my painting. But at the same time, I think about the 3-year-old me. Just grab a pen and just doodle, and with so much confidence and strength, inner strength and courage. Just know it. Just know that I am that masterpiece. I don't need to hear anyone's affirmation.
No, and the interesting thing is at 3 years old, you are so confident of it that you're waving it around. You're like, look what I did. Look what I painted. And it's not like you're asking their opinion or you're asking whether it's good enough or you're asking whether they'd like to buy it. No, you're saying, look how awesome this is. And you know it and you feel it and you're just wanting to share that awesomeness with somebody else,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why I always say it's getting back to, it's not it's not learning to love ourselves. It's learning to love ourselves again. It's not connecting with our clarity. It's connecting with our clarity again, right? It's not connecting. It's not becoming confident. It's rebuilding our confidence. It's rebuilding from where it was. Because I so resonate with you right now because I have a 4-year-old and she is everything confident, everything bold, everything, self-love, everything knowing that she's worthy and deserving of. I'll tell you all a funny story. I think you guys will enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
She was in my room. She was falling asleep in my bedroom. And I walked into the room and I was talking to my husband and she goes, shh, I'm trying to sleep. And I said to her, this is my room and I'll speak if I want to. And she was quiet for a moment and just for a moment. And then she said, well, this is my house. Right? At 4 years old. And this is what I'm saying, like, unapologetically, that's who she is. And so this is us before the collective conscious gets to us, with the over exaggerated masculine energy, before the trauma gets to us, before the cultural or religious or societal expectations get to us, right? This is our true us. This is our true us.
Wow. It brings me to the story of I think it's ancient Greek. Actually, remember I mentioned to you about Alexander the Great. So the energy right now is the same energy as 345 BC, which is 2,500 years ago of Alexander the Great. I'll share some stories, but not about Alexander the Great, but the philosopher. His name is Diogenes. You probably heard him before.
Yes.
All of the philosophers, they think it would be a great honor because Alexander the Great, he enjoyed the company of all the philosophers, and he invite all nationwide philosophers to come to show like to see him, and he will give them gold and all the treasures, and their philosopher passing by Diogenes, and he's actually just washing cabbage by the riverside, and they're telling him, oh, let's go, we need to go see Alexander the Great, and after we see him, you don't need to wash cabbage by the river by yourself, because you will have money, you'll be able to have money pay people. And he said, if you wash the cabbage by yourself, you don't need to go see Alexander the Great. And if you do those works by hand, you will have so much joy. You don't have to do other things. And so, yeah, there's so many stories related to Diogenes. The second story is about because like all the philosophers went to see him except Diogenes, and Alexander the Great heard a big deal about him, so he went to see him himself. But Diogenes, he doesn't really have a house or anything. He just have some kind of shed, and there's no window, no door, and it barely has a roof. And he entered there, and Diogenes was just taking sun baths because the sunlight shining through. He was like sun basking under the sunlight, and suddenly he said, get out of my sunlight. And then Alexander the Great like announced that, oh, I am Alexander the Great. And Diogenes was saying, who? And he said, Alexander the Great. He said, what's the great? The heaven is my shirt. The earth is my pants. And what you're doing in my underwear now. It's kind of very similar, like a concept, like your daughter has such a, can feel the universe is all in her own heart.
Yes.
He's the one running the party. I mean, she is the one running. We have to keep on reminding ourselves, we are the one running the party. We can decide what's the rule of the party.
Right. We have so much more control than we let ourselves believe, or we let ourselves imagine, or we were led to believe. Let me say that. We have so much more control and power than we were led to believe. And it starts with reconnecting with that self that says, please, whoever you are, with all of your greatness, please remove yourself from my son, right? It starts with getting back to that self. And so we have been on now for an hour. And so hopefully it has been a blessing. Hopefully it has been enlightening. Hopefully it has been uplifting. Hopefully it has been all the goodness that we hope that it would be. Just a good conversation about elevating, really a good conversation about elevating and really getting back to your inner power.
It's truly amazing, gathering to to connect with you in this way. I was wondering, would you like to share something about your upcoming events or whatever you're doing?
Sure, I would love to do that. So I have an event coming up on August. It starts August 1st. So I know it's short term, but this might be you. You might be thinking, oh my goodness, I want to get back to that self. Like, I really want to get back to that self. I want to feel the power of the lioness. Like, I want to take advantage of this full moon season, of this Leo season, and get back to my inner power. I want to reconnect with my inner self. I want to know myself again. I want to trust myself again. I want to be so connected with my intuition that I don't feel that chaotic confusion again. Like, I want to know how to do that. I want to know how to love myself again. I want to know how to be convicted in my purpose and my mission here on this earth. I really want to do that. Well, that's what we're going to do for 7 weeks. We're going to have that beautiful, sacred, and safe container for women to go to that space. We're going to be doing EFT tapping. We're going to be doing some Reiki healing energy and balancing. We're going to just be doing some coaching around what I call the 7 seeds of power. So we're going to be talking about really the tools to have compassion on yourself, why it's so important, and how to get to loving yourself again. We're going to be talking about connecting with that clarity, connecting with your confidence, connecting with your convictions, how to be consistent in the things that really matter and not the things that society is telling us we must be consistent in, right? No, the things that really matter, so that you really truly are aligned with your most powerful self. How to attract the community that is in alignment with who you are and where you're going. And the last one is how to really fully walk into the pleasure, the joy, the happiness of completion, of when you reached your goal, that you can accept, you can receive unapologetically, and know that you know that you know that you're deserving and that you're worthy. And so that's what we're going to be working on for 7 weeks, y'all. 7 weeks, we're going to be working on ourselves, unearthing the inner goddess, loving yourself, trusting yourself, believing yourself. We're going to be doing the work. We're going to be having Q&As. We're going to be energy balancing and clearing. It's going to be a really marvelous 7 weeks. So if you feel aligned to this, I would love to have you. You can go to latoyazavala.com/resurrection. You can go to my website there, and you can sign up, and it will be a beautiful time. And I would love to have you.
That's so amazing. I was wondering, would you like to either, whatever you feel called to, either guide us to do a tapping or guided meditation, or whichever you feel called to?
Let's see. Let's do some tapping. I'll take my bracelets off and let's do some tapping. And we can end with that.
Sounds good.
All right. So let's start with just breathing into the space. And you can close your eyes if you feel led. I always ask that you put your dominant hand over your heart center, and let's just do 3 deep breaths in. So ready, deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. And if you're feeling any stress or tension about, just really being in your inner power, just really knowing yourself and being unapologetically you, if you're feeling any tension around that, I'd like you to give it a number between 1 and 10. 10 meaning, oh, I'm so stressed out about that. I feel tense. I feel so disconnected. I'm not there. And I know I need so much healing. That would be like 10, right? Like and then 1 would be like, no, I'm zen. I'm totally peace. So what number would you give yourself between 1 and 10? And then if you can feel where you feel most of the tension in your body, you can just go ahead and feel that. And just be aware of it. Okay, good. All right. And now, hopefully you can see me. And we'll start the tapping sequence. I'm going to do just kind of a shorter sequence. I'll go slow the first round in case you're new to tapping. And then we'll just kind of flow through it. I'm going to do like the storytelling style of tapping. There are a few different styles. I'm going to do storytelling style to release some of the things that are blocking us from feeling our inner power. Okay. We'll start with what we call the setup phrase. So you'll use your hand, we call this the karate chop. You'll use 4 fingers, and we'll just start tapping there to activate the energy body, activate the nervous system, let our bodies know, hey, we're getting ready to do some healing. Wake up, wake up. And remember just to breathe through the whole process, okay? And we're going to repeat the setup phrase. So we'll start with this. And remember to repeat after me. And if you're in a place you can repeat out loud, because your voice carries frequency, it carries energy. So we want our bodies to actually hear our voices. So we will start with even though sometimes I don't feel in my power, I choose to completely love myself. Even though I've had some trauma, some pain, I choose to completely accept and love myself. Ooh, I feel some release happening already.
Do you want me to repeat?
Remember to breathe. Oh, yes, please. Please echo. Yes, please. That would be great. Mm-hmm. Even though I have felt some pain.
I have felt some pain.
And I have some blocks. I choose to completely accept myself. And love myself. Good. Deep breath in and release. Okay, and now we'll go. So for the crown, we'll use all 5 fingers. We'll go right to the middle. And we'll start tapping there. Whew. This life comes with a lot of challenges. There is a lot of oppression. I know that women are not paid enough. I know that women are not treated with the same respect. I know that women have been used. I know that women have been marginalized. I know that, okay, so collar, just touch your notches and then come down about 1 inch. You're going to feel like a notch there. So that's where you want to be tapping. Not out here, not here, not on the collarbone, but right here down in the notch. So, and I know that women have been mistreated. And so bra line, so we're going to go right to the side of the bra line. And so much of this is in my subconscious. Back to the crown. I have my own trauma. I have my own story. I have been mistreated. I have had unfair expectations. I was disrespected.
I was disrespected.
I was not honored.
I was not honored.
I was not loved the way that I deserve.
I was not loved the way I deserved.
And I feel it in my body.
And I feel it in my body.
Remember to breathe. I feel it in my energy.
I feel it in my energy.
I feel it in my emotions.
I feel it in my emotions.
And I know
And I know
sometimes it blocks me.
sometimes it blocks me.
Sometimes I believe the lies.
Sometimes I believe the lies.
Sometimes I believe the false expectations.
Sometimes I believe the false expectations.
Sometimes I believe the false judgments.
Sometimes I believe the false judgments.
Sometimes I believe what they say about my looks.
Sometimes I believe what they say about my looks.
Sometimes I believe what they say about my worth.
Sometimes I believe what they say about my worth.
Sometimes I think, what will they say?
Sometimes I think, what would they say?
Sometimes I think, what will they think?
Sometimes I think, what would they think?
Fear of judgment blocks me.
Fear of judgment blocks me.
Fear of failure blocks me.
Fear of failure blocks me.
Fear of success blocks me.
Fear of success blocks me.
And sometimes I'm just scared.
And sometimes I'm just scared.
Okay, don't forget to breathe. Breathe in and release. And even though I'm scared,
And even though I am scared,
I know in my heart I am worthy.
I know in my heart that I am worthy.
I know in my heart I am deserving.
I know in my heart that I am deserving.
I know in my heart that I am confident.
I know in my heart that I am confident.
I know in my heart that I am brave.
I know in my heart that I am brave.
I know in my heart that I am trustworthy.
I know in my heart that I am trustworthy.
I know in my heart that I am worthy of love.
I know in my heart that I am worthy of love.
I know in my heart I am worthy of happiness.
I know in my heart that I am worthy of happiness.
Breathe in. So today, I choose differently.
I choose differently.
I choose to speak even in fear.
I choose to speak even in fear.
I choose to act even in fear.
I choose to act even in fear.
I choose to move.
I choose to move
Towards my goal,
towards my goals,
even in fear.
even in fear.
I choose to separate the truth
I choose to separate the truth
from the lies.
from the lies.
I choose to separate the real me from the false me.
I choose to separate the real me from the false me.
I choose to walk in my power.
I choose to walk in my power.
I choose to speak in my power.
I choose to speak in my power.
I choose to act in my power.
I choose to act in my power.
I choose to sit in my power. Come on, y'all.
I choose to
It's
stand
about everything.
in my power.
I choose to be in my power.
I choose to be in my power.
I choose to believe I am powerful.
I choose to believe I am powerful.
I choose to believe I am clear.
I choose to believe I am clear.
I choose to believe I am wise.
I choose to believe I am wise.
I choose to believe I am enough.
I choose to believe I am enough.
I choose to believe I am more than enough.
I choose to believe I am more than enough.
I know I am here for a purpose.
I know I am here for a purpose.
Ooh, that's good. Let's repeat that. I know I am here for a purpose.
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 I choose to fulfill my purpose.
I choose to fulfill my purpose,
Even in fear.
even in fear.
Breathe in. Today, I release the doubts.
Today, I release the doubts.
Today, I release the lies.
Today, I release the lies.
Today, I release their expectations.
Today, I release their expectations.
Today, I release obligations.
Today, I release their obligations.
Today, I release the blocks.
Today, I release the blocks.
Good. Today, I release the triggers.
Today, I release the triggers.
Today, I decide to be free.
Today, I decide to be free.
Ooh, come on, breathe that in. Today, I decide to be free.
Today, I decide to be free.
Yes, say it as powerfully as you can. Today, I decide to be free.
Today, I decide to be free.
I accept me.
I accept me.
I trust me.
I trust me.
I love me.
I love me.
I am me.
I am me.
I am my powerful self.
I am my powerful self.
I am my authentic self.
I am my authentic self.
And I am happy.
And I am happy.
I am at peace.
I am at peace.
I am free.
I am free.
Good. Everybody take a deep breath and release. All right, dominant hand over your heart. Take a deep breath and release. Good. And this time, hold at the top, okay? If you can and you're able, take a deep breath and hold 2, 3, 4, and release. And reconnect with yourself. And touch base with that part of your body that you may have felt the stress or the tension, and touch base with that number that you gave yourself in the beginning of the session. And see if you came down any in the number, and see if that place that you felt the tension shifted in your body. Maybe it shifted, maybe it went away, maybe it was cleared for a little bit. Just take a moment to reconnect with your body. Let your body speak to you. Let your energy speak to you. Just reconnect. Just release. Good. Just reaffirm to your body one more time in your mind I give you permission to release. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can please. And we are complete.
Thank you so much.
Yay, you're welcome. And so hopefully, I think I'm going to repost the link in my Facebook group, but hopefully, Daisy, you guys will post the link in your Facebook group and you'll have this tapping. I would love for you to do that. If you felt this strongly, I'd love for you to do the tapping for 5 days straight and just see how you can bring that energy down, how you can de-stress the body, clear the energy body, and just really kind of shift the energy in your body. You'll find that the number comes down every time. And you'll also find that if you felt the tension specifically in a place in your body, you'll find it shifting as you're releasing and unblocking, and it will be really powerful. And so, yes, if you have any questions, don't feel free to message me or DM me if you have any questions about the tapping. You'd like more, you want something more personalized. I would love to hear from you, but mostly I would love to hear how, especially if this is your first time, how this felt for you, and how your body feels after it. But this is EFT tapping, and it has been an honor and a privilege to be with you today. And my earnest desire is that you step into your power.
Thank you so much, Chaps. I feel I'm more grounded in my body. Yeah, thank you, and such a blessing to have you and guiding us through this inner empowering journey. Thank you.
You're so very welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm so honored.
Oh, I want to read the comments. Antoinette, she said, that was amazing. I feel so relaxed.
Yay. I'm so glad, Antoinette. I am so glad. And I'm happy that that was that way for you. And it really does truly relax the body. And so you can use tapping for that. You can, there's different ways also to do it, to like solely focus on de-stressing the body. Please message me. I would love to share those things with you. And if you just want more tapping in your life, just go ahead and follow me or message me, and I will share with you how we can work together. But I'm so glad, Antoinette, because it really does relax the body. And now when your body's in that more relaxed state, how much more you can connect with your intuition. You can connect with your clarity. You can now connect with your higher self or divinity. You can now ask you, this even is another tool to position yourself to be in this space where you can now ask those deeper questions and get more clarity about your direction, or, all those things that we're wondering.
Yeah, and also there's another comment from Catherine. She said the tension in my neck went down from 7 to 4.
Yeah, Catherine, I am so celebrating you. That's fantastic. Oh, I'm so happy. I hope that you save this link and you do it more 7 days and see how much you can bring that down. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that.
And Sarissa also said, thank you. I needed to hear this.
I'm so glad, Teresa. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Hopefully it continues to serve you. And everybody that you did the tapping, right? Like for the next 3 days, because you've cleared some things in your nervous system, right? So for the next 3 days at least, go ahead, continue to drink your water, have your journal at the ready, and see what kinds of things, new inspirations, new creativity, new clarity might come to you, especially now that you've been cleared. So be aware for that.
And also we have our audience, Claudia, she has a question. She just raised her hand.
Well, actually, I just wanted to say thank you. I had a wonderful hour and a half of listening to beautiful conversations, of truthful sharing of what is going on in the world, but how we can shift it and trusting ourselves and getting back. It was I definitely feel like my cup got filled. It got filled by encouragement. And, I'm not the only one going through this. We all are. And that's why these groups are so important. We're not the only ones, but we are here to do something about it. And we can. And I do feel so much more relaxed. I love tapping. So thank you so much for your time, for caring, for sharing. Thank you for your willingness to be that change. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudia. You're so very welcome. Thank you. And you brought up a really important point too, that as we're doing our self-work and we're in these groups together, like we're creating we're elevating, right? We're elevating together. We're creating almost like a new collective conscious where we can together affect a more powerful change for the next generation. And so that's so very important to me. So I'm so glad you brought that up. And I'm so glad that you were here so that we could have this energy together. It's amazing. When we do this together, it's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chat.
You're welcome.
Do you have any closure, like last word for all of the audience here and all audience who's listening to the replay?
I just, there's a lot going on. I really believe that the more of us that are centered, the more of us that are grounded, the more of us that are doing ourselves work, is the better this world will be, not just for ourselves, but for my daughter, for your children, for the next generation of people growing up. It's not just about us. And it's so important that we do the self-work so that we can leave our legacy and we can shift this. We can make a difference. We can make a difference. So I just want to encourage you and I want to empower you. You are deserving and you are worthy of taking the time, the space, the energy, the love, the money, whatever it is. You are worthy and you are deserving. And it is not just a nice to have. It is vital that we pour all of that into ourselves because we are the change. We are the change that we're looking for. We are the change that we are looking for. So know that you are worthy and you are deserving, and walk in your power. Do the work and walk in your power.
Thank you so much for your wisdom and your blessings. We love you.
Love you too. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.